Hello Internet, my name is Josh, and today we are working on my second gen dually. This is a new to me project that I bought this last summer, and I've been slowly turning it from an old farm truck into a slightly shinier version of an old farm truck. And today we are going to make sure this thing can actually log some miles with a reliable fuel system. If you've spent any amount of time around these trucks, you know that fuel pressure is their crutch from the factory. If the lift pump doesn't provide the injection pump just enough fuel pressure to keep it cool, especially when it's tuned, you can say goodbye to that VP44 and see your entire load stranded roadside. On my last truck, I installed the Fleece PowerFlo system, which is what we're installing today. It's a system I don't see a lot of guys running, and I really question why. If you missed the last episode, you should go have a look. This truck had a horrible interior when I bought it that was mismatched in all kinds of colors. We gutted it, stripped it, insulated it, and installed a new interior. And considering it's an almost 30-year-old truck, it's a pretty nice place to be. With all that said, let's toss this thing on the hoist and see what's going on. Now, a hoist is not required for the install, but it definitely makes it a lot easier. We need to get access to the top of the fuel tank, so either the tank needs to get dropped or the bed needs to go up. The tank pretty well sits completely flush against the top of the bed, so the first thing you have to do is undo the two tank straps and drop it down enough to give you some room to work. On my previous truck, I pulled the bed instead since I was working on the ground. It's only 6 bolts that hold the whole thing on, and seeing as mine didn't really have any other tie-ins, it was a pretty easy method to do. I don't really know which one's faster. If you're working on the ground, having done both, I would probably just drop the tank and recommend driving the truck until the tank's pretty close to empty before you try. Once the tank comes down a fefew inches, it gets a little dicey, so I'd recommend getting a buddy to get in there and help you stabilize the whole thing. I didn't have any room to run chains over the tank, at least that were long enough that I had in my stock, so a friend really came in handy here. If you can support the front, you can support the back. With it lowered down, you can now see what's on top of that lift pump. There's a big plug you have to undo, and then just 2 fuel lines. One is feed and one is return, and I also recommend disconnecting the fuel filler neck and the vent tube for the tank as well. Oh God, I knew that was gonna happen today. I have the eau de toilette diesel. After bathing myself in diesel, I unboxed this Fleece kit to see what was going on. What makes this so cool over your standard frame-mounted lift pumps is that it's a fully integrated in-tank pump. So you're going to see us in the engine bay portion of this install the whole filtration system that's quite different than your standard. But this Fleece pump is rated for up to, I believe, 700 horsepower, maybe it's 800, and it's all integrated into the factory lift pump style, and you just run a relay wiring to give it the extra amperage and power that it needs. The prep before you install the pump is really simple. Everything is completely ready to go aside from installing the fuel level sender as well as the seal on the top of the pump itself. After that, the whole unit is ready to drop in. The install is super straightforward. Pop it back in just like your factory lift pump. It all clicks down, and you just really got to take some time seating that seal. It's a little ribbed and annoying to get actually clicked in, but aside from that, it's ready to go. Another big benefit of the kit is that it converts the fuel line over to a true full-size OD hose. So instead of the tiny little metal fuel lines that come with this truck, it bypasses it completely. So they get junked, and you run a whole new fuel line from the lift pump all the way up to the new fuel hat. This is an awesome opportunity to clean up the truck a little bit because my truck has definitely seen a set of brake lines before, and I wanted to junk that fuel line. So you get all that stuff off the side of the frame rail, you're left with your nice clean original lines and return line, and you can run the new hose. But before that happens, you need to press on the press to fit AN couplings that come with it. This is just a little bit of manpower. Use some grease, dielectric grease, oil, whatever you can get your hands on, just to lube up the hose a little bit, and you just gotta twist it, push on it. There's no real trick to it. I unfortunately didn't have a vise close by to use, so I just had to rely on my hands and muscles to try to press these together, and it was a bit of a pain to do. Once you have the AN lines pressed in, you can screw it into the top hat and start lifting the tank back up. Plug everything back in, but leave one end of the hose unterminated because we have to run that up to the engine bay. What's unique to the Fleece system is that it doesn't try to use the stock fuel filter, bowl, or any of the stock components fuel line wise going up to the injection pump. Everything has to come out of the way. So the intake horn, boot, charge pipe has to come down, and we're going to remove all the stock junk that's been fueling for the last 20 years and replace it with some brand new stuff. I start by disconnecting the banjo bolt at the injection pump, as well as all the stock factory lines that came up from the tank below. Pulled the fuel filter bowl itself off with those two 10 mils and any of the lines running to it, and all of that stuff gets thrown away in the garbage. Depending on the year of your truck, you might find a small pump that looks like this. This is a block-mounted lift pump that's meant to supplement the intake pump. However, when you convert over to the Fleece system, all of this gets junked for simplicity. After you're done removing all the old stock components, you can install the new billet hat and fuel filter adapter that bolts onto the block, replacing the factory fuel bowl. This is a really tidy system, single in, single out, with ports for 1/8 NTP sensors as well. Now, for some reason, the footage is missing from this fully assembled, but it's extremely straightforward. Once that billet hat is in, you can press in to fit and cut the lines and press on the new AN fittings that are pushed to fit. You thread that onto one side of the fuel hat, and then on the other side, the out of the fuel lift pump goes onto your injection pump, and you press on the fitting for it as well that's included. Tighten everything up, and you're pretty much ready for a start. The only other thing that's involved is running power and ground for the additional relay that boosts this lift pump, because the factory electronics just don't have the load capacity to run the new pump. With everything all finished up, I had a buddy hop in the truck and bump the starter for me without trying to start it, with the VP injection side banjo bolt loose to bump out any air that was in the new system. As soon as we had that done, I cracked injector number 1 and 3 so that there's an air escape to start the truck for the first time. Don't be surprised if you crank this truck for a good little while before fuel pressure finally starts to build. It'll fire and run really poorly until you tighten up number 1 and number 3. And there you have it. With a little bit of work, this truck will have a sustained 18 psi fuel pressure, no matter what kind of tune we throw at it, and hopefully a very long life on that injection pump. Off camera, I installed an MBRP 5-inch on this thing with a straight-through muffler and nothing else, and it sounds incredible. It really kind of tied this whole truck together. So to round out the video, let's listen to this thing, which is ultimately the biggest reason why any of us have these trucks, the sound. you've made it this far in the video, you're a weird dude because you're just watching some guy drive his truck on the internet. But I'll be posting more content in the future, so come on back around. I'm pretty sure this truck needs a head gasket now. See you later.